Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Rachel Baker, filling in this week for Terry Stiles. In this week's news, the Lone Ranger Parade and Festival is on its way, a father publishes a series of books about his autistic daughter, and a nonprofit Oxford and Orion's Fish is hosting its annual school backpack drive.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. From house fires to medical emergencies to car crashes, when folks need help, the local fire department is at the very top of the call list. Addison Township Fire Department is hoping voters will return the favor by giving it some help when they head to the polls for the August 7th primary election. On the ballot is a 6-year, $2.25 million tax request to fund the department's operations. If voters approve the November ballot request, funding would start at 2018 and end in 2024. It is estimated that the first year will generate $780,000.
Send in the lawyers. The Oxford Area Cable Communication Commission, by a vote of 4-0, decided last week to engage the services of Detroit attorney Michael Watsa for an amount of not to exceed $25,000. The purpose of which is to go after Charter Communications for unpaid funding of public educational and governmental, or as known PEG, television access channel fees. The lack of PEG fee payments was brought to the attention of local municipalities by Oxford TV Station Management and Cable Communications Board.
A new source of community pride is now parked in the bay of Addison Township's Fire Station number 1 in Leonard. The department recently received its first new fire engine since 1997. Made by Pierce Manufacturing in Appleton, Wisconsin, the truck features a pump capable of moving 1,500 gallons of water per minute and storing 1,000 gallons. The new engine cost over $450,000, which is less than the department originally budgeted for. It is replacing an engine that has been in service since 1992.
When it comes to the criteria for being selected as Grand Marshal of the annual Strawberry Festival Parade in Leonard, Addison Township, residents John and Lynn Bomer checked off all the boxes and then some. The couple was selected to lead this year's parade, scheduled for Saturday, July 21st. It'll start at noon.
An Oxford father has turned his love for his special needs daughter and his experiences caring for her into a series of self-published books designed to open minds, help others, and hopefully provide her with a little more financial security for the future. It's called the Leah Books, and in them, author Sam Sodal tells the story of his 23-year-old daughter, Leah, who has severe autism. She's nonverbal and requires 24-hour care. Leah Books series is available at Amazon.com in both paperback and an ebook.
For yet another summer, Oxford will be hosting the Lone Ranger Parade and Festival in celebration of its historical connection with the iconic Masked Man. On Saturday, August 4th, the parade will make its way through downtown Oxford, starting at the Oxford Marketplace and ending at the fire station. So far, about 60 applicants have entered the parade, and many vendors and attractions will be setting up for the day to carry on the celebration. The parade is set to start at 11 a.m. Participants should arrive at the starting point for check-in at 9 a.m. Afterwards, everyone is invited to encourage to stick around for the festivities and to suck up the summer atmosphere as we celebrate the community's past and present culture. To enter the parade or get additional information, visit homeofthemask.com.
Summer's in full swing, but it won't be long before kids hear the school bell ring again. To ensure students have everything that they need to succeed when classes resume, Oxford Orion Fish is once again conducting its annual school backpack drive. From now through August 15th, the local nonprofit group is collecting donations in the form of brand new backpacks and the whole laundry list of school supplies. Well.
All right, so Elgin, I wanted to talk a little bit. I'm doing a brand new segment now. I don't know if I'm going to repeat it or not, but I've been asking people around Oxford, mainly students, high school students, and recent graduates, what they know about American history. And so I asked them a little bit about 4th of July. It was 4th of July themed. I went down to the Seymour celebration, had a lot of fun there. I asked people questions like, why do we celebrate the 4th of July? And do you know who Thomas Jefferson is? And what are two major things that he's done for America? I got a lot of, you know, he's on one of the bills. You know, he was our president, right? And it's surprising how much some people know about certain things, but it seems that the breadth of understanding of American history is very limited. And I think that if we were to work on that, it would be great. But I've got some very interesting answers, so check it out.
Well, I think one of the questions that you asked to a little kid out there
Yeah.
had a kind of unique answer, didn't it?
Yes, I asked this sweet 10-year-old girl who her favorite founding father was, and this sweetheart said Jesus. It was the cutest answer. Oh, gosh.
That's terrific. Tells you something about our community, though.
It really does. And the Oxford school system is phenomenal. I was very pleased to hear how most people did have an understanding.
Yep.
Good understanding.
And I would invite everybody to enjoy the parks this summer.
Oh, yes.
You know, the splash pad over there in Seymour Lake area.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, great. And all the other parks, of course, headed up by Ron Davis, who's the executive director of the parks. Great job out there, folks.
Right. And also check out that Strawberry Festival. I know we talked about it a little bit. I'm also talking about it in my weekly calendar segment. And so
it's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of strawberry shortcake, ice cream, all that good stuff. I attend every year, usually with kids,
Yes.
grandchildren. Okay.
All right.
What do you think?
I think that was good. All right. And that's Oxford News for this week. If you would like to learn more about these stories and others, pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper. Catch us on our website, occtv.org, on YouTube or on the other channels, on AT&T Channel 99 or Charter 191.
Thought you were going to miss the cue there for a minute.
Oh, I was.
Coming up soon, OCTV's very own Cody Wright with the sports report, and you won't want to miss Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
I'm Rachel Baker. Thanks for watching Oxford News this week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, seeing the same doctor doesn't just give the comfort of a familiar face, it may save your life. An analysis reveals that 18 of 22 studies from 9 nations with varying health systems found that people who saw the same doctor over time had lower death rates. The studies used different methods to measure continuity, so it wasn't possible to get an overall estimate for how big the fall in mortality is. However, one recent study of people with diabetes found that those with a high level of continuity had a death rate half the size of those with low continuity. The link could be down to people with poor health needing to see different doctors, but the studies tried to account for this. Earlier research showed that people who see the same doctor consistently take up preventative care, such as immunizations, more often, are more likely to follow medical advice, and have fewer unnecessary hospital admissions. Familiarity may improve patient-doctor communication, says Dennis Pierre-Agray of St. Leonard's Medical Practice in the UK, a co-author of the new study. In our next story, a new solar cell material could create windows that produce electricity and keep your house cool. The research involved a 3-way juggling act. The new material not only had to be transparent like ordinary glass window, but also harvest light to make electricity while also blocking it to keep the building cool. So Hin Lap Yip of South China University of Technology and his team use transparent polymer solar cells that allow visible light through but convert near-infrared wavelengths into electric current. Layers of reflective materials were added to deflect the heat generation portion of the infrared light. In test, the new film transmitted 25% of visible light and converted up to 9% of the energy that reached it into electricity. This is lower than the 15% rate typically seen for standard roof-mounted solar panels, but the efficiency of polymer solar cells is improving all the time, says Yip. The researchers calculated that electricity bills could be halved if every window of a house was covered with the panels. Other potential uses are for cars with self-driving and for self-driving greenhouses. But before these new films can reach the market, Yip says their stability must be improved so they last more than 10 years. He's also exploring the possibility of printing these films to lower the cost. Making buildings that harvest light is the future, says material expert Mark Meninovic from University College in London. But he thinks the building industry will need a complete change of mindset before they adopt technology that essentially turns windows into electronic devices. In our last story, injecting brand new muscle cells directly into the heart helps it recover after a heart attack, a study in monkeys has found. Heart attacks cut off blood supply to the heart, causing some of the heart's muscle cells to die. Survivors often develop chronic heart failure in which their hearts struggle to pump blood to the rest of the body, leaving them feeling weak and tired. Charles Murray at the University of Washington and his colleagues wondered if injecting new heart muscle cells into the damaged heart could help. They injected new heart muscle cells into the hearts of 6 southern pigtailed macaques, large monkeys with hearts similar to humans, 2 weeks after they had had heart attacks. The heart muscle cells were grown from stem cells from human embryos. After 3 months, the monkeys given the new heart muscle cells had 23% higher ejection fractions, that's a measure of heart pumping capacity, than those treated with a sham. In humans, that would mean the difference from being unable to walk more than a few blocks or carry your own groceries to living a normal life, says Murray. 5 of the animals tolerated the cell treatment well, however, 1 developed abnormal heart rhythms. These were transient, but they could be potentially dangerous in human patients, says Murray. Murray and his colleagues are planning to test the embryo-derived heart muscle cells in human patients in 2020, and good luck with that. Well, that's all for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
There's a lot of history to Oxford. Hidden around every corner, deep in every crack, and sometimes right in front of you, waiting to be discovered. If you just dig a little, you'll find the great history of our beautiful town. Welcome to Historic Oxford.
What's going on, folks? Cody Wright back here once again for this week's Sports Report. We've certainly had a fun summer so far, starting out with the Midwest Lax Bash, the Tough Mudders, but now that the 4th of July weekend has come and gone, that means usually the rest of the summer is going to fly by and be over with before we know it. This week's Sports Report is going to be a short one. We don't have much to report on from the following week, but we do have some last events to discuss for the upcoming few weeks. This upcoming Monday will be the last senior softball game. We have covered a handful of these matches this summer, as we have the summers before, and let me tell you, it's been a blast. These guys come from a generation of great ball players who grew up watching baseball, collecting cards, and memorizing stats. One thing that really stands out to me with these guys is that they are incredible fielders. Don't get me wrong, they are no slouchers at the plate, but when it comes to fielding, it really shows the countless hours these guys have spent playing ball throughout their lives. They're in great shape, and all in all, they are just fun to watch, so it's going to be sad not to spend every Monday morning covering these guys. But I want to say thank you to all of them, and we look forward to next year. We'll also be finishing up with some of the U12 and U13 girls softball games in the next week or so. Like I've said time and time again, these summer leagues are for skill development and experience. I think these coaches and athletes really utilize this time for just that, and it's training good years of Wildcat softball that lie ahead. So if you haven't made it out to any of these events, the seniors or the girls softball games, now's the time to do it. But if you are too late, you can catch our coverage of these games on our YouTube page, which you can access through our website. That's occtv.org. We put just about everything we cover, from sports to TV shows to promotional videos, special events, and more. It's all right there for you at occtv.org. We did manage to get out to some of these girls' games this last week, and we got some footage of the support that these young athletes get. So here it is. Check it out.
Okay, we are here for the 4th and final time this year with the Wildcats girls. Great job this year. Where's Sophia?
Sophia's back there.
Sophia, great job hitting today. How about that? Triple and a double?
Yeah.
Your big day, huh?
Yeah.
Very good. I was really impressed with the fielding and everything, and also the pitching, and just a great job. Great catcher behind there, great arm. Great day. Do you think you girls have a chant for me?
Yeah.
Do you think you got one? You want to lead it? Okay, here we go.
We're doing the. I have a hot dog. He meant like a softball cheer.
I know.
We're just gonna hear it here.
Put it in the middle. Ready?
Ready? Ready? We're doing blue gold. And we're gonna do Oxford. That's like ready?
Blue, gold, blue, gold. Oxford Wildcats, let's kick butt.
Oh yeah.
All right, that was the most original one I've seen. Good job, girls, and good luck the rest of the season. How many more games?
I think there's 3. Yeah, 3.
3 games. Can you get this team together next year? You girls have got to play again, okay? You girls are playing so good. You got a good coach and all that. So, all right, well, have a good rest of 3 games there, and it's been a pleasure covering your girls this year. So, all right, good luck. And I want to thank you.
But don't worry, with the departure of summer comes fall, and that means this year's high school season will begin. Fall sports are a crowd favorite, and beginning in August will be high school football, boys soccer and tennis, and girls swim. The fall also brings to us volleyball, cross country, girls golf, and sideline cheers, so we have a lot to look forward to as this new season sweeps in and we settle in for a busy and hopefully successful one. As for this week, though, that should wrap it all up. I want to thank you all for watching and remind you all to tune in next time, but until then, I'm Cody Wright. Go Wildcats.
Hi, I'm Elgin Nichols with Oxford Community Television,
And I'm Dave Kenny.
and we represent Minutes by Minute, in which case you want to catch local information that's going on with your government officials.
That's right. Whether you live in the village of Oxford, Oxford Township, village of Leonard, Addison Township, we'll cover it all.
All of the above, and we'll look to see you there.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, General Motors, aiming for more gains in the booming American market for utility vehicles, is resurrecting the venerable Chevrolet Blazer nameplate as a tech-savvy yet sporty crossover. The new midsize Blazer, which GM last produced in 2005 as a body-on-frame SUV, will be slotted between Chevrolet's compact Equinox and large Traverse crossovers, both of which were redesigned for 2018 and helped GM post record U.S. crossover sales last year. The 2019 Blazer is expected to go on sale early next year in 3 trims, Base, RS, and Premier, and introduce a simpler trim strategy for the brand. The trims, GM said, will offer distinct styling, including custom grille appearances and chrome. The 5-passenger crossover has been redesigned in line with recent vehicle updates in Chevrolet's lineup, but adopts a more aggressive sculpted approach. It features a prominent dual grille similar in shape to that of the refreshed 2019 Camaro SS and sleek horizontal LED daytime running lights between the headlamps. Powering the front-wheel drive vehicle will be a standard 2.5-liter inline-4 engine rated at 193 horsepower and 188 pounds-feet of torque. A 3.6-liter V6 engine is also available, offering 305 horsepower and 269 pounds-feet of torque. Both direct injected engines feature intelligent stop-start technology and are paired to a 9-speed transmission. The Blazer's maximum trailer load is an estimated 4,500 pounds with the V6 engine, and GM will produce the Blazer at a plant in Ramos Arizpe, Mexico, along with the Chevrolet Equinox crossover and Chevrolet Cruze hatchback. It's based on GM's C1XX regular wheelbase crossover platform, which is also underpins the Cadillac XT5 and GMC Acadia. A longer wheelbase is used for the 2018 Chevrolet Traverse and 2018 Buick Enclave. Pricing will be announced closer to the start of production in the 4th quarter. In May, U.S. transaction prices for new midsize crossovers and SUVs averaged $38,175, according to the Kelley Blue Book. Traction Select is standard in all models and allows real-time adjustments to the vehicle's driving mode. On all-wheel drive models, it also allows the system to be completely disconnected from the rear axle, meaning drivers can opt to have their vehicle operate in front-wheel drive when all-wheel drive is not needed. An advanced twin-clutch all-wheel drive system will be available on RS and Premier models. Inside, the vehicle will come standard with an 8-inch color touchscreen with Chevrolet infotainment, 4G LTE Wi-Fi, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. On RS and Premier models, a new Chevrolet cargo management system with a rail and cargo fence to help secure smaller items by dividing the cargo area will come standard. Available features, mostly available on the RS and Premier models, include advanced hitch guidance systems, electronic locking glove box, heated outboard rear seats, and adaptive cruise control and wireless charging. GM introduced the K5 Blazer name in 1969 as part of the famed Chevrolet CK pickup family. And not over at Dodge. Dodge will boost the output of its high-powered Hellcat engines for the 2019 model year, topping out at a 797 horsepower Hellcat red-eye version of the Chevrolet, oh my God, that's the Challenger SRT. The lineup of supercharged Hellcat-powered Challengers will start at 717 horsepower, a 10-horsepower upgrade from the previous version. A new wide-body package for the Challenger SRT Hellcat and RT Scat Pack models is 3.5 inches wider to improve handling and braking. Dodge said the new lineup would start arriving in U.S. dealerships in the fourth quarter. And on the car sales front, just 5 years ago, U.S. vehicle sales were evenly split between cars and light trucks. But this year through May, trucks outsold cars by a ratio of more than 2 to 1. And there's no sign that cars will rebound anytime soon. Exactly where the floor is, we're still sorting it out, says Stephanie Brinley, senior analyst with IMS Market. It's IHS Market, that is. And facing this new reality, automakers have adjusted their strategies, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Some are killing cars, while others see opportunity in selling them. Still others, with car-heavy sales mixes, are playing catch-up in bringing more light trucks to market. In its annual Car Wars report, Bank of America Merrill Lynch forecasts that 71% of vehicles introduced in 2019 through 2022 model years will be light trucks. Automakers are on pace to sell about 5.3 million cars this year, which would be the fewest cars since 1958. Trade-in data from Edmunds show that numbers of buyers who replace a car with another car has fallen to 53% in the first 5 months of this year versus 68% in 2014. Times they are a-changin'. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways.